An example just simply from Tokyo, that actually in many places of the world now, these kind of designs pop up. Denmark, I just got a wonderful example from Switzerland. Already also they worked for more than 25 years in the same way. And we didn't know it from each other. Spain. But I'm not so keen on examples, because each example is fitting in the culture of the country it's made. I'm much more in favor about a way of thinking, that you can make your own designs in your own country, in your way, fitting in your culture. So that's why I'm speeding up a little bit. Each country also has its own materials. But the same people in our DNA. But culturally different. You would never see this in Holland. This was the way it was organized on Kensington High Street before the war. And this is how it looks now. Such a change. And it's so simple. It's not that you fully repave the street or something like that. Or very little small differences. Well, because I learned more and more to cope with these kinds of design, I got more and more confidence how it worked. And there was a very big main intersection in the city of Drachten. I was asked, could you help us? Because we wanted to be a nice place. But there were 22,000 cars, and we expect even to become more in future. It's actually the central entrance for all the cars and the parking places. But on the other hand, there's a theater. And there's a main line for bicycles too. And a lot of pedestrians are crossing the street to some parking places. So actually it's a very strong human place. But it's also a very strong place for all the cars entering the city. How to cope with that problem? And after some 7 years, at least 7 years of designing, this was actually design we made. I had the idea I can never cope with that amount of traffic without a roundabout. That will never work. But I don't want to build a roundabout. I hate roundabouts in city planning, in architecture. It's something horrible in all the straight lines and suddenly you have a circle in the middle. So I said to the designers, I want a roundabout being built that's not there. It's not part of the design. Could you do it? And well, they popped up with the design. It still is there, but okay, yes please. This is now how it looks like. The road is almost fully flat. There is no high difference at the curb anymore. And I didn't know what would happen. I had no idea. But already from the first day when it was opened, the cars were very, very careful. And slowly. And after a few weeks, they went a little bit faster, but suddenly all the bicyclists tried to show with their hands what they wanted to do. And after about half a year, there was a very organic flow of traffic. And I'll show you a moving picture of how things go now. We do have it now for more than 4.5 years. We haven't had any severe accident yet, but we had with traffic lights. And we don't have queues anymore. We had big queues in the past. And the pedestrians mostly had to wait for traffic lights. We have made some pictures over the full day long. There was never a bicycle that have stopped. People negotiate their way all over. And because they use their own brain, it's always much more effective than one brain of a civil servant. All those brains of people cooperating together, making it actually a very organic place. And what I find, when I see how it's happening now, maybe the most important aspect is that people take care for each other again. They are orientated on each other. And they meet each other, often in confrontation. They have to solve their own problems. And what I hear from the politicians, they say, well, what we find in the discussion with peoples all over the city is that many people recognize now that it's not always government who has to take care for them. On many other sides, many other fields of society. Well, this is a new built roundabout, and I just wanted to make some pictures, but there is still a roundabout hardly there, and it's also a nice square. But what's so nice is actually that already the owner of that pub is penetrating public space with his chairs. He's already claiming it. And that's what I like. That's what it's all about. That we recognize again the value of public space and what it can mean for people. And that actually people recognize it immediately for themselves. We don't have to explain it on signs. They know how to use that space. Oh, well, it's a nice cartoon I got from Ben. There's some guy who was suddenly painting some paint on a wonderful city hall. In the next picture, is showing that people are so annoyed by what's going on. They call the police, and the next picture shows that the police is coming, of course, immediately. This is not allowed. This is so horrible, so that should be removed immediately. And the next picture shows the guy working and trying to put it all away again, that, well, he had to do it. But on the other same moment, some guy from local government is coming, putting all the paint on the road. And next picture. And then we think this is wisdom. That we lost our sight for quality of public space. That's actually what this picture is showing. I think it's the last one. Yeah.